In the chaos of Lust Goddess battles, where lasers slice air and powers clash like thunder, there's one constant: the need for someone to take the hit and keep standing. That's where Ramona comes in. She isn't flashy. She doesn't need to be. Her presence alone shifts the dynamic of a fight. She is stability incarnate, a living shield, a unit that understands a role and embraces it fully. At first glance, Ramona may seem like a standard tank. High defense, decent HP, and a skill that shields allies. But that's just surface level. Beneath the numbers lies something more refined. A burst mitigation core, engineered to react not just with toughness, but with strategic pressure. Her active skill? A rapid deploy barrier, triggered early, absorbing incoming damage for her and her squad. It's not infinite. It's not eternal. But in those critical first few seconds, where enemies tend to open with heavy bursts, Ramona is the one who holds the line. She takes the brunt, steadies the rhythm, and turns panic into control. Her passive traits are deceptively clever. One variant increases her threat level, pulling aggro toward her without the need for brute force. Another retaliates against incoming damage with controlled backlash, letting enemies suffer for every point of health they steal. Some configurations even grant brief HP regen or bolster team-wide resistance, while her shield is active, a subtle but impactful buff. Ramona is best used with glass cannon attackers. Ruby, Ion, Chloe, these girls hit hard. But without someone like Ramona, they rarely survive the opening salvo. She buys them that precious window to charge up, land their skill shots, and wipe the enemy squad clean. And in PvP, Ramona's true value shines. She punishes teams that rely on high opening burst. Players who don't account for her shielding find their momentum shattered. Attacks bounce off. Front lines stall. Panic sets in. Suddenly, your opponent is on the back foot. Not you, but she isn't invincible. Ramona doesn't heal. If she gets overwhelmed or outlasted, she can fall fast once her shield drops. That's why pairing her with a support unit, a healer like Vanessa or a buffer like Audrey, turns her from tank to titan. It's synergy that matters. And Ramona is one of the best at enabling that synergy. Visually, Ramona cuts a bold figure. Her armor is thick but elegant. Her animations crisp, a controlled stance, grounded feet, and eyes that scan for incoming threats, not for fame. She's not there to show off. She's there to make sure you win. In the intricate dance of Lust Goddess combat, winning isn't always about the strongest blow. It's often about dismantling the enemy's strength quietly, making their victory impossible. Enter Marion, your secret weapon for sabotage. Marion is an SR-tier tactical specialist, crafted for those who favor guile over brute force. She isn't front and center. She doesn't soak damage or heal her team, but she operates in the shadows, silently eroding your opponent's advantages. Her core ability lies in status debuffs and speed disruption. With every attack, Marion can apply debilitating effects like slowed attack or reduced defense, turning powerful enemies into mere distractions. These aren't flashy skills. They're strategic tools that can break enemy tempo, disrupt ultimates, and choke off damage before it starts. On top of that, Marion's mobility and cooldown focus make her a rapid deployer. She enters the fight quickly, lands or debuffs, then circles back, or helps support a healer or tank at the front line. Her agility means her threats aren't static targets. They're unpredictable, making it hard for your opponent to react. But Marion isn't just about offense. She's about synergy. Pair her with a burst attacker like Ruby or Chloe, and the combo is lethal. Marion weakens defenses, then your damage dealer follows up with raw power. 1-2 strategic punch that wins battles before they begin. In PvP, Marion's role is even more critical. She strips away buffs, slows down key enemy carries, and steals momentum before it ever builds. Any enemy lineup reliant on attack speed or buff stacking finds it much harder with Marion in play. She's light on HP and not meant to take hits, but this is no flaw. Her value lives in disruption, not destruction. Keep her protected, support her with backup, and Mary becomes a field controller you can't see, but you absolutely feel. Visually, Marion embodies her name. Sleek, precise, purpose-built. A sharp figure moving between your lines like a shadow, balanced yet deadly. Her attire reflects her stealth. Dark tones contrasted with minimal, glowing accents that flash when debuffs land, signaling the enemy's unraveling. In short, if you want your opponent slowed, weakened, and unbalanced, long before your DPS hits, then Marion is your architect of chaos. Use her right, and fights them before they feel fair. Grace may not stride into battle with overwhelming firepower or dramatic flair, but underestimate her, and you'll miss one of the most quietly powerful androids in the SR tier. She is the shield when your team falters, the calm center in the chaos, the one who holds a line so others can shine. A defense-type android through and through, Grace was designed not just to endure, but to protect. Her very presence on the field enhances team survivability. While others look to land the final blow, Grace is the reason you even get that chance. Her passive skills offer a solid increase in defense and resistances, making her one of the hardest to take down. She doesn't rely on luck or burst damage. She wins battles by helping her team stay alive long enough to outlast the opponent. In longer fights, especially PvE modes, this becomes incredibly valuable. If you've ever struggled through content that demands endurance or consistent healing windows, Grace becomes your anchor. But her strength goes beyond being a wall. Grace supports in subtle but essential ways. Her active abilities bolster the defenses of nearby allies and often increase healing effectiveness, something that synergizes beautifully with androids like Iris or Audrey. With Grace in the lineup, squishy units have more time to execute their combos or charge ultimates without fear being picked off too soon. She's not flashy, she's not fast, but she's reliable, the kind of unit who rarely tops the MVP screen, yet without whom your squad would crumble. And in a game where synergy and timing are everything, Grace becomes that invisible thread that holds the entire strategy together. Put her in front, let her take the hits, and give her a few allies worth shielding, and Grace will show you just how powerful stillness, stability, and quiet protection can be. And that wraps up today's deep dive into Ramona, Marion, and Grace. 3 unique SR tier androids that bring far more to Battlefield than just stats. Each one adds a different rhythm to your strategy, and knowing how to use them can truly shift your entire approach in Lust Goddess. But we're not done yet. There's still 2 SR android we haven't touched, Agnes and Lilith. Mysterious, powerful, and maybe the most intriguing of them all. That's coming up in part 3. If you're enjoying this series and it's helping you build a smarter squad, do me a favor. Hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the finale. And hey, drop a comment with your favorite SR android so far, or one that surprised you in action. I read them all. Thanks for watching. See you soon in part 3.